Welcome back to the Ibanez Prestige restoration. Today things are getting high-tech. Right here on the screen you already see the product we'll be working with today. It's called SOLAREZ. For those of you who don't know it yet, SOLAREZ is a high-end UV clear coat system from the US. It's very similar to the clear coats used in the automotive industry, but this version comes as a brush-on formula, which makes it slightly thicker and ideal for detailed repair work like this. You can also buy it in a sprayable version, but for touch-ups the brush-on formula works perfectly. One of the biggest advantages is that SOLAREZ is completely odorless. There are no toxic fumes, no strong smells, and it can be cured instantly using a dedicated UV lamp. In the last episode, I have repainted all the damaged areas using an airbrush. Some of the chips went all the way down to the wood, so I'm rebuilding the black color and I was spraying it with the airbrush, and this was the first critical step. Now I'm intentionally building up a thicker clear coat layer using SOLAREZ to fill those depressions and level everything out. By the way, if you're enjoying this restoration series so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next steps. In the past, I used to do this kind of repair with superglue and accelerator spray. That does work, but superglue becomes extremely hard and very difficult to sand. So you often need a very coarse sandpaper, and that comes with a serious risk of sanding through the surrounding finishes and causing new damages. Ask me how I know. SOLAREZ behaves much more like a traditional automotive clear coat. It sands easily, smoothly, and in a very controlled way. That alone makes it a huge upgrade for finish repairs like this. SOLAREZ was actually developed with help from guitar and violin makers. There's a real Luthier community behind it that helped refine the product specifically for instrument building and repair. And SOLAREZ offers a wide range of UV curing products, not just this one. This one I'm using is called I Can't Believe It's Not Laquer. I first came across this technology while visiting the Taylor Guitars factory in California. I was amazed to see their guitars being finished fully automatically by robots and then sent through a UV light tunnel. When I asked our tour guide about the process, he explained that it's an UV clear coat system. Due to strict environmental regulations in California, Taylor switched to UV finishes because they produce no harmful fumes. The finish cures within seconds and can immediately be sanded and polished. And I thought to myself, if this works on an industrial level, why not use it for private repair work as well? Here I'm deliberately applying the SOLAREZ a bit thicker. The goal is to completely fill all chips and depressions so everything can be leveled later on. Under UV light you can clearly see where material was applied. Once the UV light is turned off, those areas visually disappear. And by the way, if you find this kind of repair interesting, feel free to share the video with other guitar nerds. And of course, if you're in direct sunlight, this will work without an UV lamp. On a really nice sunny day, you don't need any UV lamps and you can cure it in the sunlight. This stuff is really amazing and I like using SOLAREZ on my guitar projects. All right. Before we go to the sanding, I would like to tell you a little bit about the MicroMesh pads I'm using. MicroMesh is a special sandpaper and it uses its own grid rating system. So MicroMesh 1000 is much finer than regular 1000 grit sandpaper, for example. SOLAREZ sands very easily, so there's no need for aggressive sandpapers. If you don't have MicroMesh, I recommend starting around 2000 grit with regular sandpaper. And it's very important, always take your time, especially around the edges. And here I'm really careful not to burn through the finish. And the MicroMesh is a little bit more controllable than regular sandpaper because it's much finer. And I like to use it for the SOLAREZ. But of course you can use regular sandpaper if the grit is fine enough. But be very careful on the edges. The edges are thin and you can really burn through, so take care. Once everything is level, it's time for the polishing stage. Here you're mostly seeing my polish work. I'm using two different polishing pads, starting with a harder one and finishing with a softer pad. For polishing compound, I'm using a 3M automotive compound. I think it's called Perfect It. And the entire sanding and polishing process took about an hour in total, with sanding taking up most of the time, of course. Also, when polishing, you have to be really careful. The Perfect It is really a strong polishing compound, and you can also easily burn through the finish. So be careful when using compounds on your guitar body, and always test it before you're doing a friend's guitar. And it needs always a little bit experience to know how long and how hard you can polish the guitar body. But if you take care and your time, you will see the results will speak for itself. All right, now I'm done with the polishing and I'm wiping away the remaining compound with a cloth to make it shiny in the camera. Yeah, it looks really good from here. And now I'm slowly moving the camera across the body and along the edges. You can no longer see any paint chips or visible depressions in the finish. And now the obvious question, is the result perfect? And no, of course it's not. But is it a good result? Absolutely. I'm really happy. There's really nothing noticeable anymore, and there's definitely what was not the case before. Previously, you could see the chips from a few foot, and now they disappear. I'm genuinely happy with how it turns out, and for a touch-up repair, the result speaks for itself. And within that, this episode is complete. We have a wrap for today. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you in the next episode.